Sorry, bear with us, we're having little technical issues. I'm gonna keep talking, hopefully. Okay, cool. Now we're good. Just a couple of reminders. Most of these sessions are 20 to 30 minutes ish. Jump on as you can, but they're also put on our website afterwards. So if you can't catch the live version, you can catch them later. And I think they're put on IGTV and also YouTube video. So a couple ways to catch it. Honor your body. Always listen to what feels good. If something doesn't feel good, come out of the pose, come into a nice down dog or a child's pose. Those are two perfect options that'll keep you on your mat and you're still doing yoga. The other thing is honoring your body versus ego. So again, everyone's yoga looks different. So your yoga is not going to look like my yoga and vice versa. So don't compare yourself to anybody, and practice makes practice. So one day you might not be able to touch your toes in a forward fold, but if you keep practicing, you're going to get there. Trust me. So, and then one day you might come back to it and you might not be able to touch your toes. So it's okay. Just breathe and go with it. Today is World Meditation Day, so I thought at the end of this we will go and I'll do a 3 minute super quick way to end the practice, calm our mind, and then help you just refocus on your day when you leave your mat. So it'll be super easy. It'll just be breath, and remember, keeping in mind that yoga is the highest form of meditation out there. So we'll begin standing today. So go ahead and come to a nice standing position on your mat. I always have a block. You can have a block or a pillow or a blanket, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But go ahead and just come to a nice standing and mountain pose, pressing the four corners of your feet into the mat. Begin to close your eyes or keep your gaze downcast. Arms by your side, palms face out. And as you have your palms face out, just imagine that you're collecting all the positive vibes and energy to bring into your practice, to bring on the mat with you today. And begin to draw that attention to the inhale and exhale. Feeling the rise and the fall of the breath as it goes in and out of your body. Maybe imagine all that prana running down from your head, down to your body, to your toes. All of that breath and energy running through our body. Inhale, exhale. Allow the face to soften. Relax the shoulders. Then always focus on that core. Just imagining that navel touching the spine. Always engaging those muscles. Just letting go of all of the noise that our mind creates here as we begin to bring all of our awareness to our mat today. Letting go of all of our emails, any checklists that we have, and just allow this time for yourself. Take 3 more cycles of breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As usual, set that intention for your practice today. Whatever you want to get out of your mat, out of your time, moving and flowing. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center, keeping those thumbs right in the center of your chest. Let's take one deep breath in through our nose and then we'll exhale everything out through the mouth. Inhale deeply and exhale, sighing it all out. Gently release your hands back down to your side, coming back into mountain pose. Tadasana, slowly adjusting to the light, opening your eyes, and coming to focus on your practice today. Let's just inhale, arms rise. You're going to move that body with the breath. Exhale down. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms rise. Go ahead and clasp your hands together and bring your thumbs together and your pointer fingers. So it's kind of like in a little bit of a pew-pew. Point those up, drawing as you inhale, finding length in the spine up to the top of the head. And as you exhale, we're just going to stretch to the right. Breathing, still planting those feet in the mat, making sure we're not coming up off that left foot. Inhale, come back to center. And as we exhale, stretching to the left. Again, we're just finding a nice stretch here in our side body, making sure we're not lifting on that right foot. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Perfect. Go ahead and put your hands on your hips. Heel toe your feet as far wide as it feels good for you. So we're going to come into a nice wide straddle forward fold. So once you're feeling good, inhale, bringing your arms to rise. Exhale, hanging over the hips. If you have that block or pillow, you can use that. Place your fingertips there. Maybe you come down onto your forearms. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Feeling a nice stretch in the hips, in the calves, and in the hamstrings. Allowing your neck to soften. Bringing your forehead closer to the mat. If you don't want to use the block, maybe you can try reaching for your ankles. And again, just hinging over the hips, bringing the forehead down to the mat. Here for 3 more breaths. Again, this should feel really good in those hamstrings. If it's too uncomfortable, just heel toe your feet back in a little bit closer, okay? 2 more breaths. Last breath. If you're using the block, you can continue using it or remove it. We're just going to find a nice twist here. So dropping your hands to the mat or keeping them on the block. Bring your left hand into the center line of your body, so right in the middle of the chest. And as you inhale, bring that right hand up, either gazing at the right hand or gazing at your right foot, depending on how you feel. For a little bit of a deeper stretch, maybe you take that right arm and reach it behind, grabbing the left thigh. And that's just opening up the chest, stretching the shoulder a little bit deeper in this pose. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1 last breath. Inhale, reach the arm back up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring it down to the mat, just switching sides. Right hand comes into the center line of the body, either on the mat or the block. Inhale, left arm to rise. You choose where your gaze goes, either to that left hand or to the left foot. Staying here, or reaching that left hand to the right side this time. Going deeper, stretching our shoulder. And stay here for 3 more breaths while I put my hair back. Hopefully you're smiling. Last 2 breaths. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring that arm back up to the ceiling. Exhale, drop it back down to the mat. We're just going to inhale halfway here. So as you inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Keep your back nice and straight. Turn. Your gaze is down, making sure that your neck and your spine are in a line. So this is our halfway lift and our wide leg straddle. One more breath here in our nice flat back. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and fold, heel toe the feet in, hip width distance apart, and we're just coming into our regular forward fold Uttanasana, grasping opposite elbows with opposite hands, allowing yourself to sway back and forth, keeping a nice bend in the knee. Really trying to reach that chest down to the knee, getting deeper into the stretch of our hamstrings. 3 more breaths here. Last breath. As you inhale, go ahead and walk your hands out, coming into your first downward dog. Pressing your palms into the mat. Again, all 4 corners of the feet are pressing into the mat, trying to get the heels closer to the mat, bringing the chest closer to our thighs, our forehead closer to the mat each time, pedaling the feet. Maybe you have a nice bend in your knees. Totally okay. Maybe coming up on to the tippy toes and then sinking back in through the heels. Shaking your head yes or no. Continuing your breath in and out through the nose. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Again, this is Tuesday. We are going to inhale, come into that plank pose to modify, drop to your knees. Otherwise, engage the core. Maybe try bringing your feet together or bringing them as far wide as your mat. Imagining that navel touching the spine. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog. You can keep your feet as far wide as your mat here, tail and down dog. See if that feels good. If it doesn't, just bring your feet back to hip width distance apart. There's always choices. 1 more breath. And inhale, come back into that plank pose. Again, feet wide, feet together. Keep that core strong. Don't allow your body to sink and don't allow that butt to float up. In a nice long line. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, back to down dog. Pedal the feet. One last time. Inhale, come into plank pose. This time, bring that left foot in. Raise the right leg. Making sure your shoulders are over the wrist. Inhale. Exhale, bring that right leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Engage the core. Inhale. Exhale, left foot back down. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Perfect. Pedal your feet. Do what feels good here. One more breath. Come and just do a three-legged jog. So inhale that right leg to rise. Bend the knee. Allow that right hip to open. Pressing your left foot in to the mat. Maybe circle out the hip. Just using that knee to circle. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen the leg. As you exhale, bring it through to meet the hands. Drop the left leg, coming into a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Soften into the hips here. Again, if you have a blanket or knee issues, then tuck that blanket under your left knee. Just press into that front knee, feeling a nice stretch in the quads. And as you inhale, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, clasp the hands together, pressing them into that right thigh. Here we're just opening up through the front of our body, allowing that oxygen to flow through, finding length in our spine through the top of the crown of our head, and stretching those hips. One more breath here in our low lunge. Go ahead and release the clasp of your hands. Bring your left hand down to the inside of that right foot. Just finding a twist here in our low lunge. Inhaling, right arm up. Then with every inhale, again, we're kind of coming deeper into that lunge. Perfect. One more breath here. Exhale, bring that right hand back down to the mat. You're going to heel toe your foot to the left side of your mat. Heel toe, heel toe. Drop your knee. I'm going to come into pigeon pose. So, if this hurts, which it might, you want to try keeping your chin parallel with the top of your mat. If that doesn't feel okay, tuck your right foot into that left hip. You can also use a block under your hip, placing it there. You can stay here on the palms of your hands. Maybe you come up onto your tippy fingers, the tips of your fingers. Maybe you can drop down to your forearms. Maybe you can reach your hands all the way out and bring your forehead down. Sorry, that was my phone. So just relax into the pose. When we're in deeper stretches like this, we tend to want to hold our breath. So make sure you are breathing in and out, sending your breath to maybe that outside of the right thigh. You will notice that after doing this, maybe you'll get a little deeper into the pose. If you're on your hands, maybe you can come down onto one forearm. Maybe you can come onto both. Again, if it starts to feel painful, come out of it and come into a nice child's pose. 3 more breaths here. Last 2 breaths. Last one. As you inhale, wherever you are, just come back up on to the palms of your hands. Release the block if you're using one. Come up on that left foot and send the right leg back, coming back into a plank pose. You're going to stay here for 5 breaths too, engaging that core. Maybe shifting back and forth on the feet. Again, using your breath to get through the pose. Staying in a nice full line, straight line, not sinking the hips. Dropping to the knees if you need to. 3 more breaths. Engage that core. Imagine it being drawn to the spine. Last breath. As you inhale, shift forward, tuck those elbows in. Come down to the mat, hands by our rib cage. Inhale, come into cobra. Gaze is forward, tucking those elbows in towards each other. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, tuck the toes. Come back in the downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Pedal the feet, take the head. 1 more breath. Inhale, left leg. Bend the knee, open up that left hip. We'll do what we did on the right side, on the left. Again, pressing the right heel into the mat. Using the knee to circle the hip. Open that up a little bit more. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bring it through to meet the hands. Drop the right knee, coming into that low lunge. Anjaneyasana, pressing our chest into the left knee. Again, either folding the mat, using that blanket under the right knee if you need to. Softening the hips, softening into the lunge. And when you're ready, inhale, arms up. Clasp the hands together and place them on the top of that thigh. And again, we're just opening the front of our bodies, allowing our hips to stretch, deepen into the pose, and pressing away from the thigh, just opening up that back a little bit. 3 more breaths here in our low lunge. Perfect. Then a lot of these hip openers are great for us having long commutes, sitting in chairs, typing a lot. 1 more breath. Release the hands to the mat, bringing that right hand inside of the left foot. Inhale, left arm to rise, just finding a twist here in our low lunge. Breathing in and out of our nose. If it feels good, dropping on to that outer edge of the foot, opening this left knee a little bit, coming into a little bit of a lizard pose. Or just staying here. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hand back to the mat. Heel toe your left foot over to the right edge of the mat. Dropping the knee, coming into that pigeon pose. Your knees are blocked, which I do on this side. Go ahead and grab it. Again, choices. Put it right under that left hip. Block, pillow, blanket, either one. Trying to keep the shin parallel with the top edge of the mat. If that's not possible now, tuck that left foot into the right hip. staying up on your palms, maybe coming down onto your forearms, or extending your arms all the way out and dropping down to your forehead. Again, you can stay on your fingertips to keep those fingers engaged as your outer hip here feels a nice stretch. Again, as always, make sure you are breathing. Maybe it feels okay to remove the block now. Maybe you can untuck that foot a little bit more and bring it more parallel with the mat. Maybe if you're on your palms, you just come down to your forearms. Send the breath to the space in your body that needs it. 3 more breaths here. Again, recognizing what feels really good in the body and what hurts. Only you can know that. 2 more breaths. Last one. If you're using a block, go ahead and remove that now. Come up on to your palms if you're not already there. Lift up on the right foot, swing the left foot back, plank pose. Again, we will hold here for 5 breaths, keeping our body in one nice straight line. Maybe you open your legs up as far wide as the mat. Maybe they're together. Keeping the navel drawn into the spine. 3 more breaths. Shoulders over the wrists. Last 2. A smile on your face. Last breath. Inhale, shift forward, tuck the elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale, come into that cobra, keeping the hands by the ribs. Nice little back bend. Exhale, bring the forehead down. Inhale, come into that cobra again. Exhale, onto the right cheek. Inhale, come into cobra. Exhale to your left cheek. This time as you inhale both of your legs up. Keeping your chest down, legs up. You can bring your toes together or you can keep them apart. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, legs up, toes together or separate. Exhale down. Extend your arms out in front of you. When you inhale, bring your chest and your arms up, off the ground. Exhale down. Inhale, chest and arms up. Exhale down. We're going to put it all together on an exhale. Inhale, we are going to lift the arms and legs. Come into locust. Inhale. Exhale to the right cheek. Inhale, legs and arms up off the mat. Exhale, left cheek. One more time. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Lift that chest up. Hold, breathe, and exhale down. Inhale, push yourself into a nice child's pose. However that looks for you, either knees together or knees apart. Maybe you're on your fingertips, bringing your forehead down. And just check in with your body, see how you feel. Rock side to side on those hips. One more breath. Inhale, come into tabletop. Pressing the feet into the mat. Keeping a nice neutral spine. As we inhale here, extend the right arm out, troubles with left and right, and extend that left leg back, flexing the foot. Again, you can stay here, again, using your core, making sure you're finding stability and balance. You're going to bend that left knee, keep the foot flexed, and here you're just going to pulse that up to the ceiling for 10 counts. Using your own count, using your own breath. A little bit of dynamic movement here. And when you're done, just bring your right hand back down to the mat, left knee down to the mat. Switch sides. Inhale, left arm extends, and right leg extends back, flexing the foot. Find your core balance. And when you're ready, bend the right knee and pulse up, keeping that foot flexed up to the ceiling, creating a little bit of a butt workout. Do that 10 times, making sure you're breathing. And when you're done, bring the foot, your knee, and your hand back down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, press the toes, downward facing dog. One breath here. Go ahead and walk the hands to meet the feet. Again, you're coming into that nice forward fold. This time, let's go deeper. Take your hand under your foot so your toe is touching your wrist. Gorilla pose. Keeping a nice bend in the knees if needed. Drawing the forehead to the chin. Hinging over those hips. Feeling a nice stretch here, elbows out. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Go ahead and release your hands from under the feet. Heel toe both of your feet out. Toes pointing out, heels pointing in, and sink the hips in between the knees. Yogi squat malasana. Feel free to use your block or your pillow underneath. Keep your spine nice and tall. Maybe using the elbows to press open the hips a little bit more. Rocking side to side. You can also place that blanket if you have one under your heels. Do what feels good. 5 more breaths here. Again, making sure we're not slumping into this pose. So we're keeping our spine nice and straight, our chest lifted. Maybe you can bring your right palm to the mat. Inhale that left arm up, just finding a nice little twist. Or just staying in the Malasana squat. If you twist it on one side, make sure you twist on the other. 3 more breaths. Last 2 here. Put a smile on the face. You're opening those hips today. Feeling good. Last breath here. If you're using a block, go ahead and release it and slowly come down to those sitting bones. Bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Extend the arms out and then slowly come down to a nice flat back. Again, using the core. Perfect. Make sure you're on your mat as you lie flat. Bring your knees to your chest. And we are going to do just a little bit more core work. So we're going to do some yogi bites. So Inhale, bring your arms, clasping your hands behind your neck, elbows pointed out. Extend the left leg out, let it hover, or you can place it onto your mat, whatever you feel comfortable with. Inhale, bring that left elbow to the right knee. Exhale, switch. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, switch. So the slower you go, the more difficult it is. The faster you go, the easier it is. So just using your breath, do this for 25 times. Really bringing that elbow to the knee. Making sure we're not holding our breath, engaging the core. And when you're done, just bring your knees to your chest, giving yourself a nice hug for all your core work. I've lost count. I'm just going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms to the knees. Allow your neck and head to relax. Move your spine back and forth on the mat. Bring your arms out to a T. Let those legs drop to the right side. Again, just a little bit more of our core work on our obliques. Keeping our shoulders pressed into the mat. Inhale, legs up to the center. Exhale, dropping them down to the left. If you want to allow them to hit the floor, that's up to you, or hover. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Using our obliques as we bring our legs back to the center. Let's do this for 8 more times. 7, 6. Remembering to keep those shoulders pressed into the mat. 5, 4, 3, almost there. Last 2. And the last 1. Again, I'll wrap those arms around the knees. Give yourself a nice hug for all your core work. Roll onto your favorite side and press yourself up to a nice seated position. We are going to end today with just a small meditation, coming into a nice easy pose, Sukhasana. Maybe your hips are feeling open enough that you come into a half lotus. So putting one foot close to the inside of your hip. Sitting up nice and tall, pressing our sitting bones into the mat. If it feels good, gently close your eyes. Bring your palms onto your knees. And just start to connect with the breath again, feeling the rise and fall of the diaphragm. Trying to find calm and stillness in the mind. And just breathe here for a moment. If you have a mantra, you can start repeating that silently in your mind. Maybe your mantra is just calm. Maybe your mantra is just inhale, exhale. Just start to find that calmness and stillness in the mind. Go ahead and place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. As we find that calmness in our mind, start breathing into the belly for 5 breaths, pushing that belly out with the inhale. And then we're going to hold our breath for 5. And exhale that breath for 5. Inhale into the belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold at the bottom of the exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And do that 2 more cycles, focusing on that count. Breathing into the belly, holding, exhaling, out of the belly, holding. As you finish with your breath through meditation, take a moment to check in with yourself. Check in with how you feel. Recognize the feeling that's come over your body, come over your mind. Hopefully that's a sense of peace and calmness. Just breathe naturally here for 1 more minute. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Go ahead and place those hands at heart center on Anjali Mudra. We finish our practice today. Short 3-minute meditation through breath. As always, thank you so much for taking the time for yourself. I am so grateful for the opportunity to bring this to everyone. Keep practicing, yogis. In deepest gratitude, namaste. Awesome job today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. And next week, we will learn how to do some sun Bs. We've done sun As, and we'll also learn about the moon salutation. So stay tuned. See you next week. Flow on.